level 1, 60 minutes. Great to be here in that virtual space with everyone. Today was a weird day. The weather was kind of back and forth. My emotions and energy were kind of back and forth. So we're just gonna do a nice balancing practice to sort of just feel that place of equilibrium inside ourselves, really within that idea of self-care, and just carving out your little space for yourself. So start comfortably, whatever shape that is for you in your body, whether you're seated or you lie back, lay on your side. And as you settle in, if it feels right for you to close your eyes, close your eyes. Or invite a soft internal gaze. And let this moment truly be yours. To settle inward, to land in your body, to begin to establish that sense of intention, but also the energy you want to move with you throughout your practice. Begin the process of tethering your awareness to the experiences in your body that are tied to sensation. There's something to anchor to that are tangible and true right now. So what is your relationship to the Earth's gravitational pull? Notice the way you are tethered to your little piece of Earth in this moment. Be curious about the weightiness of your body parts and your bones as they are drawn downward. And set yourself down here. Let the weight of your entire body drop into and intentionally receive the Earth's support. Feel for where you are in space. So map your internal gaze along the curves of your spine, from your tailbone all the way to the base of your skull. Then draw your gaze around the circumference of your pelvic bowl. And also be curious about its shape, its weightiness. Then your rib cage. Again, moving along the circumference and then feeling your rib cage as a whole with its bones, its fluids, its organs. And finally, your head. And then notice how those three objects orient along your spine's curves, as well as in relationship and support to one another. And feel your body as a whole. How do you connect to the space that surrounds you? Final moment to scan your body. Notice if there might be areas that feel a bit tensed. You might be holding on to unnecessary information, and invite those to soften and relax. And then begin to anchor to your breath. First, as a witness, observe your breath as it happens, as the wisdom of your body moves your breath naturally. curious about your breath sensations, its movements. And without force, let there be a sense that your breath becomes just a bit more expansive. So there's a lengthening to your inhales and your exhales. And you feel that spaciousness throughout your torso as you inhale. So notice how your front body expands, your side body, your back body. And as you exhale, exhale all the way to that point where it feels as though your lungs have emptied. At this time, inhale, notice how there is that space as your lungs fill from top to bottom, your spine grows just a bit longer. And can you keep that spaciousness with your exhale? So let there be a sense of softening without dropping into a slouch. A few rounds of your breath just like that. Inhale, feel spacious, expand. Exhale completely. Let your spine stay long and extended. Good. One more breath here. And then 3 cleansing breaths. Deep inhale. And a big sigh out your mouth. 2 more just like that. Good. Blink your eyes open. Keep a soft inward gaze. I'll have you start seated, so if that's not where you are, make your way there. Some nice big slow shoulder rolls. No hurry. Move with your breath. Feeling that little bit of tension as your shoulders creep up towards your ears, the release of your shoulders slide down your back, and go in the other direction. Freestyle, let that turn into a shift, a shimmy. Each shoulder does its own independent movement. Let it get bigger. Let your arms move through space. Rotate through your neck, wiggle out your jaw, just whatever feels really good here. Good. And let your shoulders drop soft and heavy away from your ears. Bring your arms out alongside you. Sweep all 10 fingers out and up overhead. Press your palms together and draw your hands to your heart. With your palms pressed together, send your fingertips forward, round your spine like a cat. Pull your thumbs back to your heart, reach up through the crown of your head. Follow that pattern. Sweep your arms up and up, and bring your hands to your heart. Send your fingertips forward, round evenly into your back body. Pull your thumbs to your heart, lengthen, find that space. And 2 more just like this. Integrate breath and movement. Last one here. Bring your hands back to your heart. You might reclose your eyes or a soft internal gaze and settle into your intention for practice. And so that might not be a very clear word for you. It might just be a sense of something you feel. It might just be presence. So what is that thing that will anchor you throughout your practice? Come back to that place again. Release your hands, open your eyes, shoulders heavy away from your ears. Reach up to the crown of your head. And let your chin draw towards your chest. Keep space and articulation in the back of your neck so you're not tilting the tip of your nose all the way to the ground. The tip of your nose still points forward a bit. And then drop your right ear over towards your right shoulder. Chin to chest. And draw your left ear over towards your left shoulder. Couple of times, little half circles, side to side. Move slowly, our necks are a little finicky. And the next time you draw your right ear towards your right shoulder, pause there. You can bring your left fingers up to your left slightly. Play with the tilt of your chin till you find your sweet spot and wiggle out your jaw. Maybe a yawn, because that feels natural there for me. And bring your hand back onto your thigh, chin back to your chest, and rock your other ear to the other shoulder. And bring your right fingers out to your right for a little more traction. You might play with the tilt of your chin a bit until you find your sweet spot and pause and breathe. And one more breath. Bring your chin back to your chest, come back to center, and just begin to nod your head yes. That idea here, still the bridge of your nose stays pointing forward, so it's not kicking your nose all the way up towards the ceiling and all the way towards the ground. You're maintaining that spaciousness. And let that movement get a little smaller. And a little smaller, relax your jaw, tap into your breath. And so small it becomes nearly imperceptible. So if you're watching me, it'll almost look as though my head's probably not moving at all. And pause and feel if you've collected any tension in your shoulders, just let that go. And begin to shake your head no. Your shoulders stay still and relax. Let that movement get a little smaller. And a little smaller. Until it becomes so small once again, it looks as though your head is not moving at all. But you still feel that little micro movement, especially originating from that space just below the base of your skull. Pause, feel, breathe. And now drawing a little infinity symbol or a figure eight turned over on its side, getting that little bit of a tilt. Go in both directions there. Good. Now let that movement get a bit smaller. And a bit smaller. Make sure you're still breathing. Nothing's tensed because of the subtlety here. And then just a bit smaller until again it's so small, it's the look to the naked eye as though you're not moving your head at all. Good. Pause, come to center, feel. Good. Feel the backs of your ears as though they're softening into the space behind you. Bring your hands to your heart. Resist your right palm into your left palm. And against that resistance, rotate your gaze to the right as far as it can rotate without your shoulders moving. That little traction of your shoulders down away from your ears. Take a breath. With your exhale, let your spine feel even longer. Good. Now, as you resist your right palm into your left palm, move from the very tops of your shoulders to the bottom of your rib cage. That idea of moving incrementally down your spine. Until you're rotated to your right, tap your left hand across to your right thigh, right fingers come behind your hips. Go right into your breath. No need to crank any more deeply into your twists. Instead, you might do that little bit of spinal mapping again. Move along the curves of your spine. Feel the orientation of your rib cage to your pelvic bowl, your head to your rib cage. Try to take one more inhale. Exhale, keep your left hand as is. Turn your gaze, your shoulders forward. Let your left shoulder draw away from your left ear. Cactus your right elbow up to the right. Take an inhale. Exhale, tilt to your left. Good. And then reach your right arm long over your right ear. And notice how there's a shift and how your breath might feel in this shape. Your right arm doesn't have to straighten all the way. one more breath. Inhale, cactus your right elbow. Exhale, come upright, rotate forward, and notice right side and left side. And now if you would like, just for patterning's sake, switch the cross of your ankles. Good. And bring your hands back to your heart. Find resistance, left palm into right palm, your shoulders drawing away from your ears. Take an inhale, next exhale, rotate your gaze slowly to your left without your shoulders moving. Pause here, re-engage that resistance, left palm to your right. Take one more inhale, collarbones broad, exhale, rotate slowly and incrementally from the tops of your shoulders down to the bottom of your rib cage. And tap your right hand across, left fingers come back behind you. Listen to your breath. Feel where you are in space. Good. Take one more inhale. As you exhale, keep your right hand as is. Gaze the tops of your shoulders turn forward. Bring your left arm out to your left. Cactus your left elbow. Take an inhale. Exhale. Tilt your torso over to your right. Stay heavy on your left sit bone and reach your left arm long over your left ear. Doesn't matter how far you tilt. You'll probably not quite have as much range of motion here with that traction of your right hand on the thigh. Every exhale, can you maintain that sense of length and spaciousness through your torso? One more inhale. Exhale, cactus your left elbow, come upright, unwind, and just feel that settle and integrate. Your shoulders, your side body, your spine. Turn, step the soles of your feet onto your mat, knees bent. Hands behind hamstrings for support, or send all 10 fingers forward. Lengthen, reach up to the crown of your head. Use your exhale, hollow into your lowest waist first. Pull back with space right above your pubic bone. Belly button draws in back, low ribs knit. And it's that idea of lowering down one vertebra at a time. And once you make it onto the back of your body, a couple breaths here, just doing whatever feels really good. Wiggling around, rolling around, stretching out long. Nobody's watching you. One more breath. And step the soles of your feet onto your mat, knees bent, feet about hips distance apart, heels close in towards your sit bones. Rest your hands right alongside your hips. So a little bit of pelvic mobility, a little bit of spinal mobility here. Finding your breath first. So feel that spinal mapping, really notice the movement of your pelvic bowl, those two frontal hip points. Take an inhale. Now as you exhale, exhale completely and find that little lift, those frontal hip bones tilt towards your ribs. You're going into a posterior tilt in your pelvic bowl and you find a little bit of an imprint here through your low back. Inhale, breathe into that imprint. And then as you exhale, let your low back relax away from the earth into its natural curve. Good. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, imprint. Posterior tilt of your pelvic bowl, low back vertebra heavy. Inhale, breathe into that imprint, let your low ribs stay heavy. And then exhale, everything comes to control. Good. One more here, inhale. And exhale to imprint. Inhale to stay. Exhale, let that release back to neutral. So now we'll move up into some bridge lifts. Start the same way. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, imprint, root your low back. Reach your tailbone forward. Feet heavy, roll up one vertebra at a time. Let your hips lift. You know me, just this good old Pilates style bridge. Hip creases come to straight. Nice line from your shoulders to your hip bones to your knees. And then reach your tailbone forward, lower down slowly. Can you feel that sense of articulation through your spine, even if it's not quite perfect? Flow through these if you'd like to add on arms as you float your hips up, float your fingertips up, and then into the space behind you. And as you roll back down, float your fingers back up. As your hips come to connect to the earth, your hands come to rest right alongside. And let's go 4 more like this. Just warming up the back kinetic chain of your body. Again, moving into a little spinal mobility. Integrate with your breath. Let that be what guides every action. And notice how your feet connect to the earth. Firm, even press across your entire footprint. Last one. Let your hips come down to the ground. Take a breath. And then take your hands underneath your hips if you'd like a little bit of support here, or hands alongside your hips. Draw your knees in, send your feet towards the ceiling, and just get a little bit of movement. Circle out your ankles, wiggle out, kick a little water off your feet. So just letting that go. Good. One more breath. Good. So here, something underneath your hips if you needed support, a little bit of a blanket is wonderful. Squeeze your legs together, back of your neck nice and long. Go into a little bit of external rotation. Heels in, toes out, starting to find your connection to deep abdominals and inner thighs. So your low ribs soften in and down. Think here of that hug of your inner thighs, even when they stop touching. Good. So exhale completely. And as you inhale, heels press together, knees bend out towards the side, external rotation in your thigh bones. And as you exhale, straighten out your legs, squeeze your inner thighs. Good, a couple more like this. That idea of imprinting in your low back without getting overly dramatic with it is wonderful here. Last 2. Knees press outward, heels press together. And last one. Good. Let that go. Take a nice deep inhale. Cleansing sigh out your mouth. You can hug your knees in. Tuck your chin to your chest to rock up and down your spine, or roll to one side to make your way up to hands and knees. All 4s. Good. So find your hands and knees. Make sure your hands are as wide as the outer tips of your shoulder blades. Your knees are as wide as your hips. Press into the earth. Find that sense of contact with the earth to recruit energy towards your spine. And so we'll do a little bit of contralateral work here. Also a little bit of crawling. So you'll find a little bit of cross crawl, and it'll integrate with a bunch of elements. I always love cross crawl just to change my perspective. So I want you to think of a gentle cat-cow. So this will be our extension. This will be our flexion. Really find that extension in your upper back, the flexion in your low back. And so the idea is as though you were crawling. So as you inhale, hover your left knee, reach your right hand forward, look forward, find that extension. As you exhale, set your hand and knee down, lift your low waist up, a little bit of flexion. Inhale, lift your right knee or left hand, extend. Exhale, plant your knee in your hand, low waist lifts, press into the earth. Inhaling, exhaling. So look down towards the ground as you exhale, look forward as you inhale. And so this is really mimicking the pattern of how a baby actually crawls. And one more time each side. Inhale, look forward, extend. Exhale, close the chain, curl in. Last one here, inhale and exhale. And both hands, both knees on the ground, take a breath. Good. A little bit more work here. Pause through a child's pose as you would like to. Bring your hands just a little bit forward from your shoulders to relieve any tension in your wrists. Extend your right leg straight back behind you. Firm press into the ball of your right foot. Square your hips, and already here, that sense of engaging through your glutes. All right, so take an inhale. Next exhale, float your right leg parallel to the ground. Really press up through that thigh bone, engage your right side glute, and tap your right foot down. Now bring your right foot out to the right as best you can. Crawl it along the ground until your right foot is in line with your left knee. Might already be feeling a little inner thigh stretch here. Press your hips back towards your left heel. Come back forward. Draw your right foot back along the ground. Float your right leg parallel to the earth. Set your right foot down. Bring your right foot out to your right. Plant the outer edge of your right foot. Press your hips back. Come back to neutral. Draw your right foot back to its starting point. Square your hips. Float your right leg parallel to the ground. Good. 3 more like that. Draw your right foot out to the right. Feel that range of motion. Plant the foot. Press your hips back. Come back to neutral. Draw your right foot along the ground. Come back to starting point. Float your right leg up. Tap that foot down. Draw your right foot out to your right. This time, rock your hips back. Stay. You might bring your hands a little further forward. A few breaths here. Nice long spine. Relax your neck. Big lift through your right inner thigh. Bring your hips forward, walk your hands back under your shoulders, slide your right foot back underneath, and set your right knee down. Notice right side and left side. Find your tabletop, extend your left leg straight back, firm press into the ball of your left foot. Nice long spine, already engaged through your left leg, and float your left leg up, left thigh bone press towards the ceiling. Set the ball of your left foot down, draw your left foot along the earth till your left foot and your right knee are about in line. Plant the sole of your left foot, rock your hips back. Rock forward, draw that little semicircle, left foot comes back to starting point, float your left leg parallel to the ground. Tap down, circle out to your left, plant your left foot, and rock back. Good. So let's go 2 more here. Find a flow with your breath. There's really no particular breathing pattern here that will be the best. Just find a spacious, steady pattern. Last round here. Low back stays nice and steady. And this time as your left foot comes out to your left, that sort of gate pose variation, stay. You might walk your hands forward, another palm print. Let your ears drop between your upper arms, long spine, and breathe. One more breath. Come upright, walk your hands back underneath your shoulders, slide your left foot back behind you, set your left knee down, rock back through a child's pose. Couple breaths here, anything that feels good, maybe a little side body stretch. Good, one more breath. When you're ready, reach your arms forward and long. Make sure your hands are as wide as the outer tips of your shoulder blades. Push into your hands, arms are active. Pull your hips up off your heels, as though your sternum is pulling through the gateway of your shoulders. So find that length in your upper back, tuck your toes under, press into the balls of your feet, press your hip creases back, lift your knees, lift your hips high to downward dog. Take a moment to say hello and get to know this shape. Not one heel down than the other. A little sway of your hips side to side. Wiggle out your head, wiggle out your jaw. And when you're ready, really shift the weight of your body back into your legs and your feet. How long and neutral can your spine feel here? Get that sense of traction. One more breath. And a big bend in your knees. Walk your feet towards your hands or your hands towards your feet until you are in a hanging forward fold. Once you're there, your feet are as wide as you would like them to be for stability. Grab a hold of your elbows with your hands if that feels good, and a little ragdoll. Wiggle and sway as you need to. And more of a flat back or hands grounded position is wonderful here too. One more breath. Good. Release your elbows. Relax your neck profoundly, big bend in your knees. Round your spine like a cat and lift your waist towards your spine to help you roll up one vertebra at a time. Let your shoulders draw back and then your chin lift. And just find your Tadasana, feet underneath your hips, arms heavy from your ears. And take a breath. Good. Now come back to that breathing pattern and bring one hand to sort of the front of your rib cage. You might bring one hand to your back body here. Exhale completely. And then inhale, can you feel that sense of expansion out into both hands? And then exhale, feel how that contracts away from your hands evenly. Good. Again, like that. Inhale. Exhale. Bring your hands to your side waist, your side ribs. Inhale, expand outward into your hands. Exhale, let that contract back inward. Good. One more like that. Good. Let that go. And without your hands there for support, feel that three-dimensionally, that full expansion, rib cage down into your back body, into your low waist. And then exhale, everything softens inward. Can you find a little more length in your spine? One more breath like that. Good. With your next inhale, sweep your arms out and up overhead. As you exhale, soft knees, swan dive down. Hands to something, earth, blocks, books, or shins. Inhale, find length and space. Exhale, release, bow, soften. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Sweep your arms out and up, expand. Exhale, hands to your heart, reach up through the crown of your head. Two more just like that. Inhale. Exhale, two swan dive down. Inhale, find space and length. Exhale, release and fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive. And exhale, reach up through the crown of your head, hands to your heart. One more. Good. Inhale here. And exhale, bring hands to heart center. Good. Take a breath, observe. And we'll go right into some psoas walk. Bring your hands onto your hips. Feet about hips distance apart, if not a bit wider for stability. Take a nice size step back onto the ball of your left foot. You know, about a third of the way back on your mat, maybe a little bit more. And as you melt your left heel down as best you can, it points straight back behind you. Now feel that little feeling, your thigh bones are drawing up into your hip joints. Keep that feeling the whole time. Lift your back heel, bend your knees, shift your weight forward. Shift back, straighten your legs, ground your back heel. So both knees bend as you shift forward. Both legs straighten as you shift back. And your torso is just coming along for the ride here in one steady piece. Really feel how the ball of your left foot creates that forward momentum. How your right outer hip catches and stabilizes that momentum. Also the mobility in your left foot, your ankles. This next time you shift forward, both knees bent stiff. Square your hips so your right outer hip pulls back, left outer hip pulls forward. Slowly melt your left heel down as best you can, let it point straight back. Little lift of those frontal hip bones just to find neutral. So not going into a big tuck of your pelvis. Right into your right hip to feel connection here. Bring your left arm to your left. Low ribs soften down into your abdominal wall and stretch your left hand across to the right. Really feel that stretch come from your shoulder blade. You might already begin to feel that connection from your hip flexor to your shoulder and crawl your left fingers up a little higher. Breathe a little higher, a little higher, and circle your left fingers all the way up to the ceiling. Reach your right fingers high. Take an inhale. Exhale, hands to your heart. Pick up your back heel. Push off the ball of your left foot to step forward. Feel right side and left side. Hands back onto your hips. Easy step back onto the ball of your right foot. Don't overdo that step. Even press your right heel rounds and presses straight back behind you. Pick up your right heel, bend your knees, shift forward. Shift back, straighten out your legs, ground your back heel. Both knees bend as you shift forward. Both legs straighten as you shift back. Now come right to your breath. Easy, steady, spacious. And as you move, be curious about that sense of integration. We're not just working with the ball of your left foot. We're not just working with hip flexors. Really feel how there is a movement through your whole body. This next time you shift forward, both knees bent, stay. Square your hips, left outer hip pulls back. Slowly ground your back heel. Little lift of those frontal hip bones so you feel that tug without tucking too much into that posterior tilt. Left hand stays on your left hip, bring your right arm out to your right. Exhale, let your low ribs relax into your abdominal wall and reach your right arm across to the left as far as you can go without turning it into a big twist. Feel the connection there. Stay with that connection as you reach your right fingers a little higher. And a little higher. A little higher, still on that sagittal diagonal plane. And reach all the way up towards the ceiling. Reach your left fingers high, take an inhale. Exhale, hands to your heart. Pick up your back heel, step forward. Notice right side and left side. And sweep your arms out and up overhead. And with soft knees, swan dive down. Half lift, lengthen, find space. Release, bow, soften profoundly. This time, half lift, lengthen. Feel space in your spine and bend your knees, drop your thighs. Still that sense of length in your spine. Root down into the soles of your feet. Good. Now reach your fingertips forward or towards the ground. As you exhale, lengthen your spine, tilt your torso upright, find chair pose. Good. Reach all 10 fingers high. And that might be slightly on the diagonal. Just notice what your shoulders permit. Feel how you press into your feet. You might sit a little lower. One more breath here. Next inhale, straighten out your legs. Exhale, swan dive down. Half lift, lengthen. Big step back onto the ball of your left foot. Set your left knee down. Bring your hands up onto your right thigh bone. Torso nice and upright. Similar to what we did before when we were doing psoas walk, just a little bit more length here in the hip flexors. Right hand to your hip. Lift those frontal hip points just to find neutral. And then bring your left arm out to your left. As you exhale, low ribs relax into your abdominal wall. Inhale, reach your left arm across. Stay with your breath. Crawl your left fingers incrementally like you're moving along the face of a clock up a little higher. A little higher. A little higher. And then all the way up. Reach your right fingertips high. Good. Notice a little different perspective. Grab a hold of your left wrist with your right hand. Stretch your left fingers up and over to your right. Now, low ribs knit, pull into your back waist, find a sense of cat back inflection. Let your left fingers arch up and over towards the top right corner of your mat. Inhale, come up through center, release, slow tilt out of your hips. Plant your hands to frame your right foot, lift your left knee. Plant your left hand underneath your left shoulder, reach your right arm out to your right like a wing, and then rotate your left side ribs towards the sky, reach your right arm high. Now, can you get that little moment of integration? Your thigh bones hug up into your hip joints. And from there, find length and space. Take one more inhale. Exhale, set your right hand down and step to the top of your mat. Half lift, lengthen. Soften, release, fold, take a breath. Half lift, lengthen. Bend your knees, drop your thighs. Exhale, fingertips reach towards the ground. Inhale, tilt your torso upright, reach all 10 fingers high. Exhale, sit a little lower. Next inhale, straighten out your legs and swan dive down. Half lift, lengthen. Big step back onto the ball of your right foot. Set your right knee down underneath your hips. Hands up onto your left thigh bone. Find length and space. Lift through your right frontal hip bone. Good. Left hand to your left hip. Bring your right arm out to your right. Exhale. Inhale, reach your right arm across to your left. First, feel the connection through your right side. Incrementally and slowly, right fingers draw up a little higher. And a little higher. A little higher, still on the diagonal. And then all the way up. Reach all 10 fingers high. Grab a hold of your right wrist with your left hand, reach up and over to your left. Lateral flexion, low waist pulls back, low ribs knit in, right fingers arch up and over. Inhale, come upright, slowly release, slow tilt out of your hips, plant your hands to frame your left foot, lift your right knee. Plant your right hand, left arm out to your left. Rotate your gaze, your right side ribs up towards the sky, reach your left arm high. Hug your thigh bones into the hip sockets, and then find more length and space. One more inhale. Exhale, tap your left hand down and step back to downward dog. Notice this down dog from your first down dog. Knees bent as much as you would like them to be. Now a little bend in your knees, lift your heels, shift more weight back into your feet. Load that spring in the backs of your legs. Little pulse and accordion. Push off the balls of your feet, hip creases lift and draw high. Refold those knees. A couple of times there. And then load your spring, big bend in your knees. Push from the balls of your feet. Slow control shift into plank pose. Take a moment, feel where you are in plank. You might do that little bit of spinal mapping here. Knees tap down whenever you would like. When you're ready, set your knees down. You can lower here, chaturanga, high push-up, low push-up to your stomach. Or if you want to slide back through a child's pose, plant your forearms and just slide on to your front body. Once you're there, make a pillow with your fingers, set your forehead or one of your temples on that finger pillow. Breathe. And so we'll do a little bit of cobra here, but working on maybe a sense of freestyle in your cobra. So you'll find length and extension, but at different angles, and we'll do angles. We'll do a little brain work. So I want you to really shift your gaze around, especially from a place very different than what you normally do. So first, bring your hands about as wide as your yoga mat, with your fingernails in line with the tops of your shoulders. Elbows gently
point behind you, but no need to squeeze them in. Relax the tops of your shoulders. Good. Exhale completely. Now move one hand forward slightly, one hand back, and next inhale, lift your heart, shift your gaze. Doesn't matter how high you lift. Exhale, release, set your forehead down, shift the placement of your hands, something slightly different from normal, and inhale, come up. Exhale, release. Legs are strong, ground down with your hips. A few more breaths here. So really finding that sense of freedom in your spine, that there's not always just that one right way to do something or else we break. So our bodies are resilient as well as our nervous systems. Good. One more breath here. Let that go. Come back into Makrasana, make a pillow with your fingers, the forehead, or one of your temples down to rest. Nice, slow, steady breaths. And one more breath here. When you're ready to plant your hands, press yourself through a tabletop or a child's pose, and then back in a downward facing dog. Settle into your down dog. When you're ready, bend your knees. You can step, walk, maybe hop to the top of your mat. Half lift, lengthen. Release, soft and full. Half lift, lengthen, bend your knees, drop your thighs, fingertips reach down, exhale, find length. Inhale, keep that length, reach all 10 fingers high. Exhale, sit low. Inhale, straighten out your legs, fingertips reach up towards the sky. And exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Take a breath. Fine. Hands onto your hips. Feet come, oh gosh, just perhaps a little bit wider than hips distance. Shoulders soft, tailbone heavy. Shift your weight into your right foot. Pick up your left heel. And rotate your left knee out to your left. And you're gonna pick up your left foot. Good. Now set your left foot on your right calf. Feel a sense of gluing and squeezing. And pull that foot off again a few times there. Maybe it's a heel to ankle. Totally cool too. And now keep your foot hovering. Lift that heel up as high towards your groin as your body allows. Keep externally rotating so your inner thigh on your left leg spirals forward. And now slowly bring that knee to center. We're still balancing here. Good. Breathe. Left hand stays on your left hip. Bring your right arm out to your right. Exhale, low ribs soften and reach your right hand across to your left. Now rotate your left shoulder to your left a bit more. Breathe. You might set this hand on the thigh. One more inhale, totally cool. If you fell out of the shape, turn forward and set your left foot down. Wiggle as much as you need to, but also take that moment of stillness to really watch and integrate. Good. Hands back onto your hips. Shift your weight into your left foot. Knees soft. Rotate your right knee out to your right. First lift that heel, then float your foot up. Now it might just be tapping your heel to the ankle or foot to your left calf. And as you go in and out here, can you feel that sense of tension both ways? Tension as you press out, tension as you squeeze back in. So these shapes become a lot more steady when we control that range of motion that gets us there. Good. Now pull that heel up as high towards your groin without touching your foot to your leg. External rotation, your right thigh bone, frontal hip bones, draw towards another. Get that little bit of abdominal tone. Breathe. Now slowly feel that resistance. Bring your right knee to center. Right hand on your right hip, left arm out to your side. Exhale, low ribs soften down. Reach your left arm across. And then maybe you bring that hand to your thigh. You might reach your right arm straight back behind you, even though we didn't do that on side one. And also maybe play with shifting your gaze in a different direction from normal. One more breath. And let that go. Both feet to the ground, arms soft and heavy. Good. So you can stay here just off your yoga mat, or if you want to go to the long edge of your mat, wonderful. Take your feet out wide, cross to Rita stance wide, whatever that is in your body. As you inhale, reach down with your tailbone, lift your heart. Exhale, tilt forward out of your hips, fold. Half lift, lengthen, find space. Walk your hands forward, a good palm print, maybe even two. Lean your weight into your hands, find more space in your side body. Rock your hip creases back over your heels. Drop your ears between your upper arms. It's as though you are in down dog with wide legs. One more breath. Walk your hands back under your shoulders, half lift, lengthen. Turn your toes out slightly, a little visit to a side lunge. Bend your right knee to arch your right foot. Plant into the outer edge of your left foot. Square your hands under your shoulders. Keep your spine long. And then switch. Left knee to the arch of your left foot. Straighten your right leg, big lift through your right inner thigh. Good. So here, wherever the top of your mat is, you might just walk back to it. You might toe heel your feet back to hips distance if you were at the top of your mat. And when you're ready, step back into downward dog. And any final movements here that complete your practice, it might be a vinyasa-like action. It might be finding something like a side plank or a dolphin pose. Whenever you're ready, make your way back into child's pose. Knees down, hips to heels, rest. One more breath here. Plant your hands underneath your shoulders to press your torso upright. Let your hips drop to one side. Swing your legs in front of you. Stretch your legs forward and long. Feel free to prop your sit bones up onto something. And give your thigh bones a little wiggle. Feel how your sit bones connect to the earth. Find length in your spine. Hug your right knee in, step your right foot to the outside of your left leg. If you like to sit double cross your left heel to the outside of your right sit bone, hug your right knee in, find length and space. And now bring your right fingers back behind you, left arm out to your left. Take an inhale, exhale, low ribs, soften in and down. Reach your left hand across to your right. Now feel that right shoulder, your gaze turn to the right, and either hug your left or your right knee in with your left hand and elbow, or hug it across. And rather than really working on trying to squeeze and crank more out of this twist, notice how your breath is moving and dynamic here. It might feel as though it moves into different parts of your body or your rib cage. Good, take one more inhale. And exhale, slowly unwind, turn forward, unwind your legs.
Thigh bones get a little wiggle. Good. So your right foot coming straight out from your sit bone, bend your left knee, hug it in, cross your left foot to the outside of your right leg, single cross or double cross. Good. Now as you hug your left knee in, find space. Take your left fingers behind your hips. Right arm out to your right, take an inhale. Exhale, reach across, low ribs soften down into your abdominal wall. And don't make that a forceful thing, just natural as you exhale and twist. Now let that left shoulder, your gaze rotate to your left, and you can hook the elbow across or hug your left knee in. And breathe. Use your exhales to get a little taller, or at least maintain the length that you had created with your inhale. Take one more inhale here. And as you exhale, slowly turn forward. Unwind your legs, wiggle. And then soles of your feet together, knees apart. Heels fairly close in towards your sit bones as best you can. You can hold on to your feet, rest your hands alongside you. Take an inhale here, find length. Good. Exhale, sit bones heavy, and can you feel that little turn of your inner thighs up towards the ceiling? And this might be a great place to stay. Or as you bow forward, find somewhere between flexion and extension. So keep a little space in your upper back, but your low back will probably round a bit. One more breath. And with your next inhale, come upright. Hands to the outside of your knees to draw your legs together. Make your way onto your back for Shavasana. Any final movements or shapes that would make your practice feel complete, do not hesitate to include those. Or if you want to put your legs up the wall, wonderful. Just whatever it is that feels nourishing for you in this moment. And turn inward, rest. Gently bring your awareness back into your body. You might stay still for just a moment longer, so as not to disturb what has settled in this quiet space in between. And what is there to witness here, both in your tangible physical experience, in your more subtle internal experience? What is that lens of observation like at the end of practice? Is there a bit more clarity or patience or compassion? Is there an ability to sort of move down into those deeper layers of experience and feel them more tangibly? And let all of these things be inquiries, so there's no right answer, there is nothing you have to encounter here. When you're ready, find movement. Start small in your fingers, your toes. And let those movements draw up through your joints and your limbs, eventually your body as a whole, any big stretches that feel good. And let your body stay soft and heavy. Use the earth support to wisely transition to a comfortable seat. Once you are seated, if you would like, bring your hands to your heart. And here you honor your breath, your body, and what you cultivated here on your yoga mat today. And let that sense of strength, resilience, pliability, intention move with you into your daily life. We will close with a cleansing breath. Inhale, expand, feel that space. And this time exhale, let it get slouchy, release your chin to your chest. And thank you to you for being here to practice with me. Om Shanti, peace to all living beings.